Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and today we're going to be taking a look at some more new cards. And these are from Stellar Miracle, which will be coming in um, July 19th, apparently in Japan, and then will be coming in Stellar Crown in September, I think, internationally. So that's going to be interesting. But of a ways away, we still have Shrouded Fable slash Night Wanderer before then, which is a mini set. This will be the next main expansion. We do have some full arts. We got this Hydrapple EX. Pretty cool. I like the art. Kind of weird, but that's kind of what they're going for. Really fun. We have this Terapagos EX. Terapagos EX is really good. Or it's pretty solid. It has a lot of support, so it's gonna be really solid. And then it's cool looking. And then we have a Noctowl. This is one of the cards that supports the Trapagos EX as well as other Terra Pokemon, but specifically Trapagos, and it's cool, I guess. But not my favorite of the foliage here. But or what's it called? Illustration rares. Yeah. Anyway, then we also have an illustration rare Joltik, and then we got some cards to look at though. But this illustration rare Joltik's kind of cool. Actually, I really love this. I'm not style's like not my favorite, but it's cool, and I like the lightning bolts. I like lightning. But anyway, so Joltik is of course a lightning Pokemon here. It's a 30 HP basic, so not so good, but has an attack here for one colorless, battery charge, search your deck for up to two basic grass energies and up to two basic lightning energies. Attach them to your Pokemon and we want, then shuffle your deck. I'm not sure of all the uses of this card. Of course, you could do this in just a lightning deck or just a grass deck, but it's just like it's a little better than Technical Machine Turbo Energized, but 30 HP basic, pretty low. So not amazing there, but if you're getting value from both the grass and lightning, this is really good. And this is specifically here for the Galvantula EX, which its attack cost, its main attack, in my opinion, is Grass Lightning Fighting. It does, we'll talk about that, but it's, in my opinion, really solid, but you need a lot of Vanishing play to get it to work. But it's pretty good, and so this will help power that up, and you can attach it to yourself as well. So you can attach it to your own Joltik, which you might. And so really interesting there. There's another Galvantula single prizer that it can power up, which is solid, but overall, just a really solid attack. I mean, accelerating 4 energies is a lot. So that's pretty good. I don't know, as I said, all the uses off the top of my head, outside of like Galvantulas. You could put it in like a grass deck. You could use it to power up Pidgey Draco V-Star, I guess, but then you don't get any value out of the lightning energies, really. So I'd probably just use Technical Machine Turbo Energize, but which accelerates two energies in play. Two one-year bench Pokemon, I believe, is what it does. But it's solid. But this Joltik here is yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of weird though. I don't know all of its use cases, or most of it's like I don't know its best use cases outside of Galvantula or Galvantula EX here. But Galvantula EX is a Terra Pokemon. It is a Stellar Pokemon, I guess. It's not an official type of card, the Stellar type, I don't think, but it's a Terra, so it's immune to bench damage, which is fine, I guess. And it is Lightning type, so it is weak to fighting. Its first attack, Charged Web, Lightning Colorless. We actually did see this card leaked, but now that we have a lot more knowledge about the set, certainly not all of it, but we know more, we know how good this card is a bit better. Charged Web, Lightning Colorless, 110, but if you're hitting into an EX or V, it does 110 more. This is often enough to one-shot basic, basic Pokemon, really any basic Pokemon, whether they're EX and Vs or not. I mean, you're not one-shotting like single prize Roaring Moon or even Roaring Moon EX, but with just a little bit of damage buff, like 10 more damage, you're one-shotting pretty much all basic EXs or Vs. So this is a really solid attack. It's not amazing, but it's nice. It's like good. You can also, as I said, there are things to help Terra Pokemon. There's Noctowl and there's Stadium, and then there's a supporter, and those are all good. The supporter lets you take an extra prize on a certain turn. The Stadium gives you a bigger bench. Then like Noctowl helps you with like setup with consistency options, and then there's also the Ace Spec, which is super good, allowing you to attack for one less energy, which is super good, especially with Fulgurite, your main attack here. And all the Terra Pokemon have, or sorry, all the Stellar Pokemon, which are Terra Pokemon, have attack costs that are 3 energies. Um, so far, that's what we've seen, and I believe that's how it's going to work. We saw Amazing Rares like this, and they were generally like that. A little different though, with Celebi Amazing Rare specifically. But anyways, so 3 different types, pretty awkward here. But I was also sorry, I'm like I'm a little sick right now, so that if my voice sounds funny, that's why. But Fulgurite for grass, lightning, fighting, but then, as I said earlier, Joltik accelerates grass and lightning, so you can get a lot of those energies in play really easily. And then the fighting, just attach, right? So it does 180. Discard all energy from this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. They can't play any items from their hand. That is pretty insane because obviously items are good. They're probably the most, I was gonna say like the most played type of card in a deck, but I mean Pokemon are more played than items, but there are different like types of Pokemon and like stages and stuff. But items are very common, right? So a lot of decks run let's just say 20 items, maybe a little less, but somewhere around there. Pushing 20 certainly. With some decks, are really item heavy, but then some are just play like 8 or maybe a little more, but like decks that need items, right? So if you're item locking them every turn, that's insane. You are discarding all the energy. So with Joltik, you want to power up 2 Galvantulas and then, or mostly power up 2 Galvantulas, and then I think you might switch between them, and I don't know how exactly you get the energy on after Joltik, but even if you want to use Joltik, because if you get this off turn 1 going second, which you can do technically with Salvatore, I think. I mean, it's really awkward though. You have like Electric Generator, but that's not that good. There's like the Ace Spec, and I guess you can Electric Generator Ace Spec attached, but that's like super sketchy. But there are certain things you can do, and then turn 2 going first, which means you're not attacking with Joltik. You can power this up, you can attach and then attach the next turn and then do some other thing. And that's like, there are lots of other ways. Gardenia's Vigor, there's a new supporter that accelerates. I don't know if it accelerates to Terra Pokemon or to all Pokemon, but it accelerates and certainly will accelerate to this. Gets 2 different types of energy though. And then, I don't know, I just think the second attack's really solid if you can power it up. If you attack with this every turn, you should just win the game because like your opponent will just struggle so much to deal with this because they can't play any items, including ace specs. Not all ace specs, but unfair stamp, secret box. I guess Master Ball, that doesn't see much play. Hyper Aroma, which isn't that good, but does see some play. And Prime Catcher, I don't think it's a Prime Catcher and Unfair Stamp. So Prime Catcher and Unfair Stamp are super powerful, and you can't play them. Your opponent can't play them if you item lock them. So if you're able to do this, it's insane. However, you really need to item lock them every single turn. If you don't, if you ever drop the item lock, then it's really bad because now your opponent's able to just play all their item cards. So you could switch this in and out with Bayonet EX or Venomoth EX. No, sorry, Venomoth Single Parser, and just keep item locking them, but doing not 180 damage every single turn. But you can do Venomoth and then set up for Galvantula, and you could also do Venomoth or Bayonet EX. Bayonet EX is psychic, so that's pretty awkward having 4 energy types there. But certainly Venomoth, which is 1 grass, you could Venomoth for a lot of the game, and then manually power up a Galvantula on your bench, and then just one-shot something, which I think is a really solid option. Or not necessarily one-shot, but finish something off in a really quickly. So I think Galvantula Venomoth could be an interesting option, but I think Galvantula EX is really solid. It is awkward though, as I said, the energy cost is super awkward. But then the first attack's also solid. I mean, it's not a bad attack. It's a good attack. It's not an amazing attack, but it's pretty solid. So you could kind of lean into that. But you don't really want to mix up the attacks because between the 2 attacks on Galvantula, because as I said, item lock generally something you want to. Well, there's 2 uses. It could be something you use every single turn, which is generally how people think of it, or it could be something you use just 1 turn. You say hit them with a Roxanne or Iono or Unfair Stamp or whatever, and then you item lock them, and now they're like in a super horrible spot, but just for 1 turn, and then they're probably going to get out of it. But if they have Pidgeot EX or a Barrel, there's a good chance they can get out of it. Anyways, even under item lock, it might not be as easy, but they can do it still. So Galvantula EX, though, super high upside, a really interesting Pokemon. If a Fido, call for family, essentially, for 1, search for 1, or 1 colorless, search for 1 basic, put onto your bench. You can do 1 colorless, you can do 10, whatever. But then we have Dachshund EX here, which has an interesting ability. If you're familiar with Cheryl, the ability is just Cheryl on play. So when you play this Pokemon to evolve, when your Pokemon in play, you may heal all damage from each of your evolution Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy from each Pokemon healed in this way. So that's good. It heals all your evolutions. It has some different use cases, but obviously it's just there for healing. And so if you're playing a healing deck, it's really nice, but it's only once. You can only use this. I mean, you can play multiple Dachshund EXs, but that's really awkward. And this attack is 130 for 2 colorless and Confusion. And Confusion is like not that good, and 130 isn't that good either. So pretty bad attack. 250 HP is also on the lower end. 2 retreat cost, kind of awkward. I gotta assume. Oh no, this Fido has 2 retreat. There might be one with one. I honestly don't know, but Dashbun EX is unfortunately not that good in my opinion. I mean, it's not bad. If like people are always two-shotting each other and they're not able to consistently gust, so you're able to heal up multiple Pokemon and heal. You really want to be healing at least 300 damage. This to be really solid. I mean, certainly healing like 180, say from a Charizard EX is nice, but I don't know. And then you discard all the energy, so you need to make sure you're a deck that can deal with that if you're lucky at it, because it was revealed with Galvantula EX. Galvantula EX is discarding all the energy with this attack anyway, so you could just Fido. No, what Dashbun EX? There we go. You could just do that with Galvantula EX, but that's also like not that good, right? So, I mean, it's just a lot of pieces. It's so many pieces, so it's kind of awkward, but it's an interesting Pokemon. Then we have Lacy. Lacy is an interesting supporter. It says shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 4 cards. But if your opponent has 3 or fewer prizes remaining, draw until you have 8. Shuffle, draw 8. So that's pretty like shuffle draw 8's really good, obviously, because Cynthia was shuffle draw 6. Saw a lot of play. Iono's kind of shuffle draw 6. That's a drastic oversimplification of the card because it does way more than that. But um, you can kind of just view it as that, especially in like a control deck or a deck where you're not taking prizes quickly or fast. I meant to mix them. I was like mixing them together by accident, so I said quack. But yeah, if you're like setting up, if you're not taking prizes quickly, you're setting up slowly, then you can use Lacy pretty well. I think Gardevoir could play this because you have Kirlia, so you can discard it if you don't need it. You have Kirlia to help you draw it. You have Glade to search it out if you really want, although people don't always play or even usually play Glade in Gardevoir, but in my opinion, it's pretty good. And yeah, I mean, it's just really solid. Shuffle draw is nice. I don't know if it's quite right for Gardevoir, but it's pretty good. And control, it's good, I guess. Not bad, but Iono is so good in control because that's never going to be shuffling and drawing you less than 6. Of course, it is. As I said, it's different, including it's not actually shuffling into the deck, but whatever. So Lacy is pretty solid. Honestly, it's like we'll see exactly how good it is. I don't know if it'll see much play because early game Shuffle Draw 4 is not that good. It's not terrible. Cards like Judge see play. Iono, obviously, as I said, it's really good. It sees play, which some of the game it's Shuffle Draw 4, and people play it like that, or even less. So, then, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not that. Like, Shuffle Draw 4 is pretty weak, obviously. There's Shuffle Draw 5, which doesn't really see any play, and, Shuffle Draw 6, which we saw in the format, was quite a while ago, was good, but also there wasn't Discard Draw 7, so I don't know. At least it's good though. But it's kind of sketchy because you need to wait. You could also use this in a deck where you knock yourself out, which would probably be Dusknoir Dusclops, Dusknoir and Dusclops deck, which knock themselves out, or Fortress EX, but that's not so good. But yeah, Lacy pretty solid supporter here. Then we have Great Tree, Big Tree. The Big Tree card, really fun. I think it's just funny that there's just like a big tree. On this, I don't know why I find it funny, but I do. But it's an Aspec Stadium. We saw another one of these, which we will be seeing coming in. As I said, we will be getting Shrouded Fable, so we'll see an Aspec Stadium in that, which is I don't remember the name of the stadium, to be honest. I completely forget. Is this some like fountain something? I don't know. But we got a stadium, Aspec Stadium. Oh, Neutral Center. There we go. And then Great Tree, though, says when during each player's turn, they may search the deck for a stage 1 that involves one of their basics, and then evolve it. And then if that's in stage 1, they can now get a stage 2. But it can't be used in the turn it's put into play. I saw a video by Ember Power talking about these cards, and that was pretty cool. And Ember Power said that the big tree is kind of like rare candy, but it's like a stadium, which is so weird, like a stadium like rare candy, but that's really what it is. It could stay in play. If it stays in play, it's amazing. And yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's like good, I guess, but as an ace spec, it's a little underwhelming. It's kind of weird. I feel like it's just not like it has good value, but you could just rare candy and ultra ball. I don't know. It's really hard to gauge because it's just so weird. Um, it's okay, I'll say Great Tree is just an okay card. As an ace bet, like I don't think you'll see that much play. Like would I rather play this or Prime Catcher? Prime Catcher, but they're so different. I mean, I just can't really compare them at all. which is so strange. It's like a consistency booster. It's not like turboing out your Pokemon to play. They're getting into the play the same speed as if you rare candy them, and then you do need the stage one. So assuming it's a stage two deck, then you need the stage one. If it's a stage one deck, you could use Hyper Aroma or Master Ball. Like it's kind of weird. I don't think it's that good. Um, but who knows? Maybe we'll see a deck where this ends up seeing a lot of play. If you're a deck where you're constantly evolving Pokemon, like over and over and over again, like say the Dunsparce, you can evolve the Dunsparce like 10 times in a game potentially. Then Grade 2 could be really good, but of course it needs to stay in play. So I think if stadiums aren't played very much, or there's a way to lock stadiums in play, there kind of are. Not completely, but you can. There are ways to kind of guarantee that they stay in play, or certainly make sure that they have a much higher chance of staying in play. You can stop your opponent from playing stadiums, or you can item lock your opponent. So maybe this is intended for item lock. I don't know. I feel like these aren't all intended to be together. That they have moderate synergy with each other. I mean, like Great Tree it doesn't have synergy with Dash Spun EX, so this is played from hand. But yeah, Great Tree, kind of fun. Weird card, cool art, really cool art. But anyways, that's all for today's video. Short little, well, this is my main video. I have other videos, including one yesterday or maybe the day before where I talk about Evolution EXs. I'm doing a contest for that, so description. I don't know if there's info in the description, but there's certainly info in the pinned comment if I remembered to add that. But I hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.